So we're back again. We're back. That's our slogan this time around, and we're hoping that everybody else will be back with us.
We are supporting the residents, and we will fight and fight and fight against this development and make sure that we win.
Let's be honest, at 24 stories, it still looks a lot like a skyscraper. And the fact is that Roselle Village and Premier O'Farrell, who promised before the election to quote-unquote return planning controls to local communities, have to accept that we want a redevelopment of this site. We all want the club to return. No one more so than me. But it cannot be in the form of a skyscraper.
We want sustainable, quality, appropriate development, and we want real public benefits with this development. That we support the return of the Balmain Leagues Club to the site, but it's got to be a development which is appropriate for the site.
All we want is a leagues club for kids to play football again.
Okay, I'll just make this point before we go to the next speaker, which is, and I'm happy to be corrected about this if there's a representative of the developer here who can correct me. My understanding is the only guarantee for the club out of this development is 15 years rent at commercial rates. And that's my understanding. I'm happy to be proved wrong about it. I hope that I can be. But if that's the case, it's hard to say that this guarantees the future of the club. We'll just go to Lisa.
Born and bred Balmain girl, and I'm really frustrated by propaganda around the heart of the community being the club. The heart of the community in this club is supposed to be the space where community can come together. There's no auditorium, a bistro and a gaming area. That's not community. That's not where people gather. That's not where they have presentations. Or during the day there's workshops or people doing exercise classes. There's no club here for the community. It's for making money.
I don't know if Balmain kids around today are playing football, right? We had kids in Balmain playing football. If we're going to move that club, give the Balmain team another club.
Yeah, Frank Sartor admitted in evidence that Eddie O'B, he was planning minister at the time, had lent on him to call in the Tigers development. Now, even if the Tigers development satisfied the criteria of a Part 3A project, why, and we have to ask this question, why was Sartor asked to call it in?
The worst case scenario would be that this is determined and then ICANN come out with their findings and find there is a connection. Could you imagine the compensation then that would be paid to certain individuals involved in this project? This project keeps giving and giving and giving to certain individuals. The Metro payout was phenomenal and it's still not known what that is. This project has reaped millions to certain individuals and it hasn't even started yet.
When it came back to council this time, I took that as an indication that the government has made a decision that they're going to have this decided behind closed doors in Macquarie Street rather than having local residents having a real say.
You might like to know this. Roselle Village today called for construction tenders on this project. So either they know something that we don't, or they're very, very optimistic.
There are a lot of relationships to do with Roselle Village and to do with the Tigers proposal that very much need to be examined.
But what we can say, unambiguously, is that we're going to hold the Premier to his commitment. That we demand that this proposal, that control over this site, be returned to the local community one way or another.
Despite all the modelling, we all know what the reality is on the roads. The local road network can't cope with this development. It can't cope with the traffic it will bring. And it certainly can't cope at that black spot intersection that they plan to use.
I mean, I know a lot of people in this room, we've been here for years and years and years fighting what is an incredibly overdevelopment on a critical site. This is a development which should never even see the light of day. It's deeply offensive. It's a deeply offensive development, and really it should be thrown out.
And there's a very real chance that despite all of the shortcomings that this application still has, that the Department of Planning may recommend approval.
Request that IPAC expand its current inquiry to include an examination of all relationships between Roselle Village Tigers regarding their development proposal and that exists between them and others, including Leichhardt Council, former and current planning ministers and bureaucrats, Eddie Obeid and family, and former and current project managers of the proposal. That this meeting calls for a quality, sustainably appropriate development on this site which provides real public benefit and returns the Balmain Leagues Club to Roselle.
We need written submissions, we need thousands of them if we want to stop this. And we need the Department of Planning and the Minister, Brad Hazard, to really take on board what this community is saying. I mean, how many times do we have to say no? We've said no over and over and over again. I've been at this for 7 years, and the community overwhelmingly has said no every time, and still it comes back.
If you follow the Roselle Action Group site, they have fantastic suggestions which will fit in very much with your intuitions about what is wrong with this development proposal.